it is it's a lot of hard work, but it's groundbreaking stuff, you know. So we're really excited about it. We are trying to make sure we cover all the bases. There's a lot of things to consider, probably more than you think, more than you might imagine, as we look to move all these things out there for you. Hey, Chima, you with me? I'd like to do a sound check with you. Ryan, could that be you that's in as staff? We really think it's important because this is a product that does require you to understand how to use it, how to interact with it, and getting you started and having you see it and getting you acclimated with exactly how you'll see things coming in is important before it happens. And we know everyone's excited, so we don't want just everyone rushing in without having a good understanding of what needs to be done. So, oh my gosh, while I'm waiting, I can't tell you, the counter just keeps going. People are just piling in by the second. We'll probably start in just about 2 or 3 minutes. Just as soon as I can clear a sound check with Chima. I'm just going to mute myself for 1 second, if you'll excuse me. I know we gave you short notice as well. For those of you who are with us tonight who may not frequent the Pip Room Latino, Javier is one of our market experts in the Latino Pip Room. So Javier, go ahead and introduce yourself and tell the members a little bit about you. And Javier is doing a double header. He's assisting in the English presentation tonight, and then he'll be doing the Spanish one to follow. So go ahead, Javier.
Great. Okay. Yes, my name is Javier Rios, and I am one of the traders of the Forex Pip Room Latino. And it's a live trade room where we call out trades, we talk about strategies, we oversee the market with individuals such as yourselves, some who know, some who don't know. We take the time to explain things that are happening in live, in real time. So definitely welcome anyone who speaks Spanish and would like to learn more to join us. As far as me, I've been trading now close to 6 years, and I love it. It's the best profession in the world, I believe. You can do it from anywhere. You just need the internet connection, and you can connect to the market and trade and live a lifestyle where you control everything. I believe a lot in automation. I believe what the company is getting involved in is the future, is the key, and I'm excited. I'm excited to be able to work with such a professional team and with a company that really has a vision for the future and is getting involved now.
Thanks so much, Javier. I want to welcome you to Wealth Generators. We're thrilled to have you, and especially welcome you this evening.
Thank you.
Ah, here he is. Just give a minute. Chima's just arriving now. Okay, let me clean up a couple of things while Chima's getting situated. If you would hold your questions on the Simplifier product itself until after the presentation, because that's what tonight is all about. Chima is going to show you what the FX Simplifier is, how it works, what you can expect, some things you may need to consider. Now, there were some other items that were mentioned in the question area where someone had access to the Pip Room and now they don't have access anymore. So now we have changed our packages around a bit, as you know, and the Pip Rooms, which used to be part of the Qualified Generator pack, is now part of the ALGOPACK. So you get the PIP rooms now if you are an ALGOPACK or an all-in pack. And all of the live Meet the Expert sessions, including Ross Jardine's live session, has now been moved to the QG pack, along with additional education and all of the Meet the Expert replays. So if you still believe that you don't have the right access that you should have, just submit a ticket and we'll get to you. Now you might imagine this week has been a little crazy with tickets because we don't want to roll out one thing. We just want to roll out everything all at the same time. I have someone who also says he can't hear. So can you give me a quick sound check again, everyone?
I hear you fine.
Yep, good. Okay, wonderful. Chima, can we check your sound?
Yes, can you hear me?
We can.
All right, all right.
See, guys, what did I tell you? I have that big mouth. Both Chima has a nice, soft voice. So does Javier. And there I am, yelling in the mic. So for that, I apologize. Okay, so I'll be answering your questions. Okay, and Javier will be assisting Chima throughout this presentation, and he may also assist in some questions should I get behind a little bit. Chima, it's all yours. I'll be starting the recording now.
Okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the FX Simplifier training. Can everyone see my screen? Just want to make sure, show of hands, if everybody can see my screen, and more importantly, do you know that face? Great. So he is probably one of the world's most recognized faces of investing and all things money, all things trading, and just a wealth of knowledge as it comes to understanding financial markets and business. And I like this guy. For us finance guys, us Wall Street guys, it's incredible to see his longevity and just, the fact that most of the things that this guy touches turns to gold. And his quotes make a lot of sense, and he has some interesting sayings. And every time I think of the ALGOPACK, I think of our approach to trading and what we want to do as a firm and the opportunities and the different options to gain, let's say, wealth. I think of this statement: if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. I'm not sure how many of you have heard this statement before, but in finance it's important because we live in this global world, and as the world gets smaller and smaller, we recognize that through the internet and through global business that there are ways for people to make money 24 hours a day. And there's no better example than that right here in front of us in the Forex market. For those of you who have been up during the London session, you see these young men make money while most of America sleeps. That was my life for many years, many years, going to the firm, hedge fund, and just being there at 1 o'clock in the morning waiting for the London session to open. And yes, making money while others slept. But just understand this market and being able to have this opportunity in front of you to where you can leverage what the experts at Wealth Generators know. You can leverage their understanding of the market, and you can leverage the opportunity that they present in front of you as far as, okay, here are my ideas, here are my trading ideas, this is what I think, and this is how I feel the market's going to move. Whether it's a bullish move in the euro, whether it's a bearish move in the Swiss, you may not be the professional today, but through the different things that we offer here at Wealth Generators, maybe tomorrow, maybe next month, maybe next year, but that's not really the big issue. The issue is you can earn while you learn, okay? So you can leverage what the experts are doing, and you can earn through what they and how they see the market as you learn and understand a little bit more about it. So this is one of my favorite quotes from Warren Buffett. And once again, if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. There's another one that I like. and it talks about capital preservation. And in all the excitement of the FX Simplifier, I don't want you to lose sight, and we as a firm, we don't want you to lose sight that you are putting money at risk. This is trading. And there's a reason why we read the disclosure to you before every meeting. There's a reason why before every PIP room you get the disclosure. So we want you to understand that there is risk involved. And we often talk about past results. They're not indicative of future, right? So we want you, even though and through this process, it's going to be a little bit more important for you to pay attention to the risk. Because as the trades come in, you're not executing them on your own. So if you are a part of the Simplifier, this will happen while you sleep. And it will happen while you're in a meeting. And trades will take place while you're at work, maybe at dinner, on vacation. So it's important for you to understand risk and understand how you now are in control, or well, you've always been, but now you really need to pay attention to your control and the risk, because before, as you got the alert, you would input, all right, well, I'm in one trade, okay, I'm in 3 trades, or you may be in 4 trades at a time, but you may have already had your idea of how many trades you'll enter in at one point. Well, I'm already in 2 trades, so I'm just going to wait for these 2 to finish before I enter into another. And so you were in control, full control, as to, all right, I'm going to input this new trade. And many of us, because life gets in the way, you weren't able to enter into every trade. So now with the FX Simplifier, you're now going to be able to take advantage of all of the trades that our market experts are making. Therefore, when all of the trades hit your account, it's really important for you to understand, okay, wow, I see the market moving. I have 6 trades in my account. I have 2, I have 4, I have 7, I have 3, I have 1. And as the market moves and as the Forex experts make their trading decisions when to get in and when to get out, you will see your live trading platform fluctuate, all right? And yes, that anxiety sometimes you'll watch, you're like, oh my gosh, wow, okay, I'm down 5 pips, I'm down 10, and now I'm up 5 and I'm up 50, and the excitement. So yes, you'll see that roller coaster and you'll see it go. However, we need to make sure that you are in charge of your risk, all right? So we're going to talk about that. And of course, once again, Mr. Buffett, risk comes from not knowing what you're doing. Risk comes from not knowing what you're doing. So it's important for you to understand this through conversations that we'll have. And of course, as you go into the PIP rooms, you'll have our experts in there. You can ask them questions and you'll talk about it there. But you have to investigate for yourself as well. You have to find your comfort zone when it comes to risk. Some people are a little bit more risk tolerant than others, and some people are a little bit more risk averse than others. All right, so please pay attention to that as we dig deeper and get started with the FX Simplifier. So risk, what is it? How does it work? All right, so of course, risk is how much we risk on every trade. And every trade, as we enter into more and more trades, it can impact the total amount of our account. All right, so it's really important. Now, as the trade hits either its profit target or it hits its stop loss, it will affect obviously your capital in your account. So this is really important for us to understand that as you set your risk levels, take into account how many trades your account can handle and can take, all right? Because we are now trading, and for those of you who are trading at Forex.com, you're going to have a little bit of a leverage shift from elsewhere, all right? So here in the US, we have what we call a 50-to-1 leverage. And you have to be careful with as much as you risk, because if you risk too much per trade, you may not get into all the trades. So this is why it's important, and later on when I actually show you the platform, I'll explain a little bit further. These are some examples. You will have 2 choices in the FX Simplifier. You will have an option where it's a drop-down menu, and you're going to be able to choose percentage risk. So what this means is that every trade that's going to be executed will be a percent of your account. So in the example here, in a $1,000 account, 2.5%, let's say if you're going to risk 2.5% per trade, It means every trade that you enter into, taking into account the stop loss that the expert has assigned to that trade, will assign a $25 risk to your account. So for example, if we got into 2 trades at 2.5% risk per, you're going to lose $50 if the stop loss was hit. And as a professional trader, I like to look at that side first. Now, yes, we are doing great. We are doing amazing over the last stretch. We have produced some killer numbers. They're really, really mind-boggling and mind-blowing just to see the amount of pips that we've been able to produce. However, because that is not an indication of tomorrow, I always like to look at risk first, because this isn't gambling, right? We are trading, we are investing. So with a great degree of probability, we're making certain decisions in our trades day in and day out. However, we want you to preserve your capital, right? We want to grow your capital. So we are understanding that not every trade is a winning trade. Now, our objective as traders is over the average. So let's say over the week, over the day, over the month, over this 3-month period, is to have a winning percentage. That is our goal, right? However, in that quest, yes, some stops will be hit. So if you're risking 10, 15, 20% per trade, you are going to really impact your account if we, let's say, have back-to-back losing trades. And let's say the 3rd trade is our big winner, but now you've impacted your account so heavily that even though the 3rd trade wins, you're not able to make back make back your losses. All right, so let's keep that in mind. In this example, 1,000, 5,000, and 10,000, you have 2.5% per trade would be $125 per trade risk. $10,000 account, it would be $250 per risk. All right, so you obviously have the ability to change that to 1% per trade. You can have that at 5% per trade. You can have it at 0.5% per trade. The great thing about this is that it gives this tool or this ability for you to choose on your own. So if you're a little bit more risk tolerant, like I said earlier, you can wager a little bit more per trade. And if you're a little bit more risk averse, then of course you can dial it down all the way to 0.2, 0.1, 0.3, whatever it is that you feel comfortable risking per trade. Now you also have another option. You have an option where you can risk per trade as far as a pip, as far as a lot value per trade. All right, so you can tell the software that I only want to risk 0.3 per trade. So every trade that comes through my terminal will all be tagged with 0.3. That's going to be the lot size that will be entered into your account. 0.3, 0.3, 0.3, 0.3. And then you can modify that as you see fit. As your account grows, you can say, okay, well, now I'm going to modify this per trade value or per lot value at 0.4. Now, the individual that I see really taking advantage of this or using this is the individual who's a trader also, right? So in WG, we have a wide range of members. We have members who have no interest in touching their terminal at all. They go to work every day. They don't even want to look at a chart. They just want to set it and forget it, as they say. So that individual, I really see them doing the percentage risk. Okay, I'm going to risk 1%, 2.5% per trade. I'm going to risk this amount per trade, and I am going to let it go. And then you have some traders who are active traders. They make some trading decisions on their own. However, they do want to take advantage of the trading expert signals that come across. So that trader may say, okay, I want to risk 0.5 per trade that comes in from WG because I'm still trading this account. I need to save some of the leverage in this account for my own trades, right? So we had that in mind when we created the system. It's designed for those who just want to let WG experts do their own thing, and then it's also designed for those who are seasoned traders who want to take advantage of the signals that come across, and in addition to trade their account with their own trading strategy. So let's see it work. All right, guys, I'm going to switch my screen, and I am going to show you the FX Simplifier. All right. Can everybody see, or did everybody see a change in screen? You see a show of hands? All right, can you see it? All right. Annette, did you get the switch over, Annette? Let me see
Yeah,
here.
we got it.
You did?
It
You
looks
got it?
good, nice and
Perfect.
clear. Yeah, you're just gonna, before you start with this, there was one question specifically on the allocation that you may want to round back to. Maybe not now, maybe at the end once more.
Okay. All right. I will definitely get that. All right, guys. Let's see here. All right, so everybody can see. Awesome. Now, I'm showing you into the not only the portal that you'll have on your terminal, but also what the traders are going to see. So our market experts, they're going to have their own gateway, right? And so their gateway is going to be where they execute all of their trades, all right? So of course, you, the end user, the member, you're not going to see this gateway, right? But for this demonstration, I just wanted to show everybody how it works and the process of executing the trade and it actually showing up on your account, right? So the image on the left obviously is going to be your terminal that you're going to have at home, all right? Now here, once you have the software, or we call it in the industry an EA, which is an expert advisor, once you have that loaded on your platform, and we're going to provide instruction, obviously, we're going to provide video instruction for you to be able to follow to have this installed on your terminal. So don't worry about that. So we've skipped a couple steps, obviously, for you to see how it's going to actually work. But all this will be well documented, so you'll be able to do step-by-step to actually place this on your Forex.com terminal, okay? Now, one of the things that we are going to be able to do on, by using the FX Simplifier is our risk, all right? So here we go. We are going to be able to control the risk. Here's the percent order per risk, the drop-down menu, the fixed order. You can choose between fixed order and the percent order. And you're going to be able to adjust the risk amount here, whether it's the max account, the per order risk, let's say at 2.5%. You have your max account risk. You can adjust that as well. So whether you want to risk 30% of your account, or you want to risk 10% of your account, you want to risk 40% of your account, 50% of your account. So you're going to be able to adjust that as you see fit. All right. So one of the things at Forex.com, what we're going to be able to do here is adjust how much you're going to, with your risk. Keep in mind that yes, you may be in 3 or 4 or 5 trades at a time, or sometimes even 6 trades at a time. So if you are risking 5% per trade, but you only allow a 10% max trade, then you're only going to get into 2 trades. At that point, your system will not be able to take any more trades. All right, so keep that in mind. You want to be able to allow, or at least allow, anywhere between 6, leverage between about 5 to 6 to 7 for you to have space to accept all the trades. So for example, you may have 2 or 3 trades going on at the same time from our market experts, and then the guys in London, they may get into 3 or 4 trades during that session as well. All right, so they might get in and out of their trades, and then you'll probably miss what the guys in London are doing because your account, your max account risk is too tight. All right, so you'll have to play with this a little bit based on your risk tolerance. Is going to be a simple math calculation for yourself, and to allow at least space for 6 to 7 trades to be in your account, and then you'll be able to adjust based on how much you want to risk per trade, and obviously your max number. Okay, so this as well, we'll talk about this some more, and to where you can actually understand the balance that you want to achieve. Once again, please understand, we have thousands of members, so the combination will be different based on your own personal risk tolerance. Okay, guys, so there is no one right answer for this. And as you go into the rooms, you're going to ask the experts, what should I put? What should I put? What should I put? What should I put? There is no one right answer. You have to understand how much you need to or you would like to risk per trade, and then how much of your account at one time you're looking to risk. So for example, if we're in 5 trades and you're risking 1%, or if you're risking, if 5 trades and you're risking 5% per trade and all 5 don't make it or they hit the stop loss, then yes, 25% of your account will be hit. Okay, now we have to look at it. The probability of all 5 not going to target, or the probability of all 5 hitting the stop loss. But as a trader, you have to understand that that's the risk you take. So yes, the probability is slim that all 5 will go to a stop loss. However, there is some level of probability that it might. So in that case, you have to allow space for that, okay? Now, yes, as you take your trades and as you understand how your risk tolerance or where your risk tolerance lies, then you will be able to mix and match a little bit or understand exactly how much you're wanting to risk per account. So as you define how much you want to risk per trade, then I would say back into how much of your account that you're willing to risk at the same time. All right. Now, the next is the max spread, and let me quickly explain that. As a trader enters into a trade, there is something called a bid-ask spread, and now during times of extreme volatility, that spread will widen and tighten, sometimes violently, depending on the news or depending on the fundamental announcement that's happening around that time. Now, this is a protection mechanism because if the gap or if the bid-ask spread widens a little too tight, it puts you at a negative position automatically, and this protects you against that. All right, so we have that in place, or that cushion in place, to where if a trade hits your account but there's a big news announcement and the spread is too wide, therefore putting you in a negative position, then it will pass over. All right, so that trade will pass over, and therefore you won't be entered into that account. And that too is also a variable that you will be able to do. All right. Now, there's another thing with the FX Simplifier that we will have to understand. This system communicates with the internet. That's how we are able to send you trades. This gateway sends a trade through the internet and it lands on your computer. All right, so that's what happens. As you enter into a trade, it goes through the internet and then it actually lands just like that, instantly on your computer. So it travels through the internet and lands on your computer. Therefore, we have to have a constant connection to your computer, whether it's your laptop or whether it's your desktop, whatever the case is. If we're not connected to your terminal, you cannot get the trade. That's how it happens. All right, so we will be discussing this at a later issue as well, but yes, those you have to have some type of dedicated computer terminal to your trading in order for you to get the trades. All right, so this is something that you will want to have, because if you're not connected, then as the trades come through, you won't be able to receive your trades. All right, so you can have it running through the night, your computer can be in sleep mode, but as long as the terminal is running and receiving the signal, then as you're sleeping, for example, as the London session is going, you'll be able to receive those trades as well. All right, so whether you have a dedicated laptop or you have a small desktop or something like that that you're going to dedicate to your trading, then that can be running in the background. You can have that running at home while you're at work. Ryan talked about the VPS that we're working on trying to get everybody situated with as well. So there are a lot of options that are available to you for you to have what we call a constant uprunning or uptime with your computer, right? So this is one of the caveats that is necessary, because if your computer is closed, there's absolutely no way for you to communicate through the internet with our expert. All right, now Safety net mechanisms. A trade cannot hit your account without a stop and a target. So let's say a trade goes through, it lands on your terminal, you lose power, or the internet goes down, and something goes wrong, right? This has already communicated with your terminal, and that means it has a take profit in there, and it has a stop in there already. So even if you lose power, or if the internet goes down, or the trade is in there and you have to take your laptop with you and you've lost connectivity, then those levels are registered with your broker. All right, they are registered at Forex.com. So if your take profit is hit, then Forex.com already has that level registered on their computers, on their servers. So yes, at that point, if, for example, in this case, the take profit is listed here at 100 pips, your internet goes down for whatever reason, if we go to target at 100 pips, your trade will be closed out. All right. Now, oftentimes we trail our trades. So when this happens and a trader is saying, okay, we're at 80 pips, and 80 pips is where I actually want to take my profit. At that point, you have to be connected, because if the trader decides to take the trade at 80 pips instead of 100, how will your computer know? How will your terminal be able to communicate with the broker? Because essentially that's what it is. We're providing you a signal to your terminal in order for you to communicate with the broker. Now in that instance, the broker won't get the fact that we're exiting the trade at 80. Now yes, along with this trade that goes to the terminal instantly through the website, you're also going to get an alert. All right, so that's going to be a check and balance for you as well. If you notice that your terminal is still running and you got an alert on your phone to close the euro, and your euro trade is running, that means that, okay, something with your connectivity is gone, or whatever the case is, you can open up your smartphone just like you've done before, and you can close your trade. All right, so you can still manage your trades the same way you have. Let's say the trade is running and it's at 120 pips, and you're fine with that. You're getting ready to get on a plane, and you don't want any running trades going as you're traveling. You can close out your trades on your own. So you're still in control. The only thing we're providing you with is a signal. All right, you manage the risk, you manage the lot size, you manage the percent of the trade that's going to be taken, and you also manage when and how long you stay in the trade. All right, so that option is there for you as well. How many of you guys like that? Did you see how quickly, in a blink of an eye, how the trade executed that way? So go ahead. There's some questions here that I wanted to get to as well, and there's a lot that have been running by. So Annette, did you identify a few that you wanted me to address? All right, yes. Great responses. Yes, it's really nice. All right, so a lot of the questions are about connectivity. Yes, you do have to have a dedicated computer, obviously, and for those who don't have a dedicated computer, there is something called a VPS, and that is basically a virtual private server that is always up. All right, so essentially it's a computer in the cloud, and you're able to put your trading terminal on that virtual computer in the cloud, and you essentially have 99, as they advertise, 99.9% uptime as far as your terminal just running, and it's always connected to the internet, and so therefore you have the security of always being connected. Now, of course, if you choose to have a VPS, that option, or if you have a dedicated computer at home, you don't necessarily need that. If you choose to have a VPS, then you're still able, whether you're at home or you use a VPS, to have those trades communicate with your smartphone. So as the trades hit your terminal, they will do like they normally do before. You're able to see them on your smartphone. You can manage them on your smartphone. Even though you're not at home, you can see the trades as they're being executed, whether they're closed, take profit, whatever the case is. As that's happening, you're going to see all of that activity on your smartphone as well. So you're always going to be connected, and you're always going to understand what's going on with your trades. Now, the manual side of our alerts are still there. That is your check and balance. All right. So always, always, always look at your alerts that are coming in your email. That functionality won't change. You'll have that when the alert comes in. I would like for you to get in the habit of looking at the alert and also looking at your terminal, just in case something happens. And it is technology, everyone. It is technology. So we use it to better things, and sometimes it lets us down, as we all know, whether it's the internet or something happened to the computer or something happened with the server. These things happen, so we have to have a little safeguard in place. When you get your email, just double check. Click over to the other app, see if the trade was executed, look into your trade history, look into the live trades, and just check and balance and just make sure, as you got your email announcement, did my trade execute as well? All right, so that's going to save you a lot of headache with that. What we're doing with the Simplifier is really helping you, or removing the issue of being in a meeting and not being able to execute your trade, or being asleep and not being able to execute a trade. So we still want you to do the normal check and balance as you get your emails. All right. Well, let's move into the question and answer period. There are a few questions that are coming across, and I'm trying to look for. I think there was one or two that Annette wanted me to talk about. All right, I'm not understanding percent risk and the correlated numbers. All right, so, all right, Verna, you asked a question about the percentage risk. All right, so let's go through that again for those who don't understand it. And how it's implemented here. And while we're in a live trade, it's easy to see here. All right, so I have 2%, 2.5% per order risk allocated to this trade. So let's see the trade that I just executed here. Let's say my account balance is roughly around 10,000 here. So 2.5% of my account balance is about $250. And on the platform, it's going to tell you how much of this trade, or the risk, or based on the stop loss, if this trade hits its stop loss, then I'm going to lose $250. So here it tells me what my rolling profit is. All right, I'm down $27 here, and it tells me how much of my account is at risk, which is $250. Also, there are some key things that you want to pay attention to here as well. The EA status, all these will have to check OK, or they'll be green for you to let you know that you're connected to the server. This will highlight your account balance, your account number, and then here we go to your total risk. All right, so it's going to let you know. Now, I have allocated, well, this is just, it's defaults at 100, but let's say if you chose 35% or 45% for your risk. This is going to show you how much of your account is currently at risk. So as you enter into more and more trades, then it will show you, okay, well now instead of 2.5% risk, you're at 7, or you're at 10, or you're at 15% risk. So as you enter into more and more trades, based on the stop that the expert has chosen, it will show you this trade. Well, as far as regardless of the stop, you're always going to risk 250 with this choice. Now, it will differ if you risk, let's say, a per lot. All right, so if you're doing per lot, then now you're subject to how much the trader puts in as their stop. So if you risk 0.1 per lot, let's say every trade you're just doing 0.1, and trader A risks 50 pips, then okay, you're going to be at risk $50. If your lot size is 0.1 and trader B risks 125 pips, then that trade your risk is going to be $125, right? So if you're on a fixed lot size, then your risk number will vary, excuse me. So if you're on a percentage risk, every trade should have a risk of $250. Now, because of that, your lot size will differ. So with the euro, it may be 0.5. With the yen, it may be 0.3. With the pound CAD, it may be 0.132. So your size of your trades will differ as long as you're on percent order risk, because the lot amount or the pip amount can differ just slightly, okay? But your risk will always be, in this case, at $250. But you'll see a difference in your lot size. So hopefully that answered your question, Vernon. All right, can I have two different terminals running and can I have terminals running in two different places? Great question, Timothy. Yes, you can. All right, so in one terminal, your terminal at home, you can have the EA running, and you can have a terminal at work that you're just observing, right? Because the secondary terminal is very similar to your phone, right? Your secondary terminal, let's say you have it at the office, and as the trade is going, you might want to make a decision to exit this euro-dollar trade whenever you see fit. You can still execute on that second terminal, right? But you only need one terminal that has the actual software or the program on it, all right? So you can have multiple terminals, 3, 4, whatever terminals. You can have a terminal at work, you can have your phone, but as long as the one, let's say the one at home, has the software running, then you can use the other terminals, whether it's your mobile terminal or another desktop terminal at work, to monitor or modify your trades. Can you use the FX Simplifier with a demo account? Yes, yes you can. You can use it with a demo account. I think that it's a great idea to initially use it with a demo account so you can understand how risk applies to, you can create a demo account similar to how much money you plan to put up. And you can do that and say, okay, well, great, I can figure out my risk in 1 or 2 days, or you can just play with it a little bit and get used to it. So you can use it with the demo account and then obviously transition to your live account. All right. All right, Logan likes it, huh? Cornelia, you can arrange it. You can turn it off when you choose. So, for example, if you're interested in, if you're always attentive during the other hours of the day, but you just want to turn it on while you're asleep, and let's say you're used to manually trading, you like to be in control, so you want to get the alerts and you want to manually put them in, but you just want to turn on while you're asleep, you can definitely do that. So you can turn on the robot while you're asleep, and then when you wake up, you can turn it off. So you're in full control of it. If you're not able to monitor your trades, you're in a meeting, and typically when you're at work, you're not able to input your trades. So, okay, when you go to work, you can turn on the robot, and when you get home, you can turn it off, because now if an alert comes in the evening, you want to be able to control that and put that in yourself. So it's really up to you how much you use it, if you want to use it 24 hours of the day, or if you just want to use it while you're asleep. So you can really control, you're really in full control of the EA. All right, I'm getting a lot of the same questions, so hopefully I've answered a lot of them. There's a question here, what's the highest number of trades that we'll see? It may vary a little bit. From the experts alone, you may get 3, 4, 5 trades in a week, but they're at different times typically, right? So you might be in 1 or 2 trades Monday, Tuesday, those might get out, you're in another 2 or 3 trades at the end of the week, and those are they'll fluctuate just based on what they see in the market at that time. You'll have a couple trades that may take place in the New York session, but the New York session Latino, you might get 3 or 4 trades that Paul may get into, right? So that room with Paul and Javier, you may get into 3 or 4 trades just in and out there. With the London room, they may get in and out of 4 or 5 or 6 trades, you know, so they may be running at the same time and they may not, you know, so in the first part of the session they may get into 2 or 3 trades, in the latter part of the session they may get into another 2 or 3 trades. You may take 6 overall, but you may only be in at 2 or 3 at the same time. So it's hard to say that you're just going to be in 6 trades, you know, or you're just going to be in 5 trades, because it's really a market where you have to trade what you see, and that's what our experts do. They're analyzing the market day in and day out, and they're just trading and implementing these trade ideas as they see them. All right. All right, guys, I think that we get to the final few questions, but a lot of people are excited, and obviously they are wanting to know some of the same things, so hopefully we're getting a lot of those good. If I haven't answered your question, please feel free to type it in again, and let's see if I can do that. Is the video going to be available? Yes, we are recording, and the video will be available for those who want to see it again, or if you have some friends or you have some team members who weren't able to make it, then yes, they'll be able to see it. As far as the REF broker, that is our partner, and between them and Forex.com, so you should be able to, if you can open with one of them, definitely try to, but as long as you open with one of them, you should be okay. Donald, to answer your question, if you were trading max leverage at Telenex, then yes, you would want to probably cut that in half with Forex.com. And it's probably better that way as well, because more than likely you weren't getting into all the trades that we were doing, and in this way you're able to take advantage of all the trades. So it's better if that's the case, then you're able to reduce that a little bit, therefore you're able to get in all the trades. One of the things that you don't want to do, you don't want to put your per trade percentage up so high that you're not going to be able to take advantage of all the trades, because once that magic number is hit, once your max trade allowance, that number is hit, or your max account risk is hit, then it's not going to accept any more trades until some of the trades are closed. All right, so you want to play with that number a little bit, and so you can actually take advantage of all the trades. All right, so we are in the final process, guys. As you can see, this is what you're going to get. And I know everyone's excited. All the comments that are coming on, everyone's really excited. So we're trying to finalize that final piece. As Ryan had mentioned in the video, we want to give you the total solution, right? Because we know we have some individuals who do need that as a solution, just to have that uptime. And if it happens shortly, then yes, we roll out everything together. Otherwise, everyone will get this, and you'll be able to put it on your computer. You'll be able to use it. But to answer all the questions, if everyone just, well, is it happening? What's going on? Do you really have it? Is the Simplifier really here? Is it smoke and mirrors and all these things? Like, here it is live and in person. This is how it's going to work. And it's just a matter of days before we roll it out to everyone. And so I'm really excited about the rollout. The entire team, believe me, if the traders are probably even more excited than you. The fact that they can now instantly take advantage of the market as they see things. Filling out the manual forms does take a little bit of time, but now using the Simplifier, you're able to take advantage instantly as they see the trade, as they execute. Now you're able to just jump in the market as they do. All right, so from time to time, as the experts see a trade, and by the time it gets they fill out the form, it goes to the email server, but by the time it gets to you, from time to time, the trade is already moved. It's moved 10 pips, it's moved 15 pips, it's moved 20 pips, because the market is a fast moving beast sometimes. And so in this case, we're able to get it instantly to your computer. So we're very excited about really being able to maximize what we can do, because I feel that as a result of this instant execution, that the numbers will be even better. So we're all excited here. It's been a lot of hard work. The entire Forex team, thank you so much for the amount of work that you put into to get it to this point. The leadership in the company, everyone's super excited to be able to offer this product to you. So just the final touches, everyone, and it will be in your hands shortly. Thank you, Michael. Appreciate it. Thank you, Joe. Thanks, everyone.